Right. Hey there, SEO tips. Some SEO tips for choosing keywords and duplicate local SEO content. So that's going to be the main topic. It's going to be SEO tips for choosing keywords and duplicate local SEO content. So basically, I'm just want to cover these are two questions that consistently come up that I really want to address in today's video. And I hope if you're a business owner or you're an SEO or you're doing campaigns for people or working with people, these are two things that come up quite consistently. And what those two things and mind you, I've been working a lot with the board link. It's like, I got the cool new board, but I assure you we'll also be doing some more over the shoulder. So of course, stick with me. But what I want to touch on right now is going to be choosing keywords. Now, oftentimes when I get the question about choosing the right keyword, it really has to do with variation. You know, where the concern will be is, Chris, this is someone asking me, a business owner, which keyword should we be targeting? Where should we be focusing our attention? Should we focus our attention? Let's use a hypothetical of, should we use lawyer? Should we use lawyers? Should we use attorney or attorneys? Now, oftentimes you want to head after the big league term, right? But going after the largest volume keyword isn't always in your best interest. On top of that, I've had the question in the past before, and this is what I'm going to be answering in today's video. The other question that I've had is, well, Chris, should I create individual pages for each of those keywords? Should I make a page for lawyer, lawyers, attorney, and attorneys and see which one does best? Should I make an entire pillar page? What exactly should I do? Should I be targeting by volume or should I be targeting by intent? Like what's best for me? On top of that, what I want to touch on is the duplicated content issue. I'll share with you how I like to, or how we like to, myself, my helpers, the people that I work with, how we like to work with this duplicated content, because all the tools will say, hey, you shouldn't do this. Everywhere you read says, oh, don't do this. This is a problem. This is an issue. And in a lot of times, if you don't have the budget to write 100% unique on every single page, there are some workarounds. And that's precisely what I want to talk about. How to choose the right keywords, creating and crafting a perfect page for yourself so you can get the best result. And then on top of that, working within the confines of time in order to target the best keywords on multiple locations in multiple cities and be able to get the best result. So now that I've wrapped up exactly what we're going to be talking about, keywords and duplicate content, what I want to share with you is, as far as choosing the keyword, let's just use this same example. Let's say it's lawyers, lawyer, attorney, and attorneys. Now, what's really great about SEO, let's just make sure you can see. Bear with me here. Okay. Just to make sure that I know you can see me. All right. I have a little monitor right here. When we're talking about, again, let's say it's going to be lawyer, lawyers, attorney, and attorneys. Now, the only place that I would say go after volume on the initial page is going to be inside of the URL. All right. For my WordPress users, this is also known as the slug. Okay. Now, what I would want to make sure of is that we are utilizing the highest volume inside of the slug. Why? Because we won't have a chance to change that later. Now, where we can target multiple keywords, and also I'm going to give you the strategy of what you're looking for, is within the actual title, inside the H1, and inside the body content. Now, what we like to do when deciding, hey, which keyword should we end up going after, which one should we choose, is we let Google decide. So let me share with you how we do this, all right? So if we create a page, all right, we know that the slug, let's just say it's whatever lawyers is what we go with, okay? So we'll go with lawyers because we know we cannot change the slug. Also, we want to start our initial link building as soon as we possibly can to hit the ground running. But we also know that we cannot change the URL parameters. We don't want to change that. We don't want to show discrepancies to Google. So what we'll also do is we also have some options here because we know that we can change the title and we know that we can change the H1 if need be. And then we also know that we can change the body content. And of course, don't get me wrong, we can change the other headers. But these are the most important places when we're talking about deciding or letting Google decide which keywords we should target. So for instance, we'll make our URL, let's just say it's website.com/Houston Lawyers. Now, what we'll do is inside of this title, we'll put Houston Lawyers, lawyer, attorney, and attorneys. Inside of the H1, we'll also put those different variants. Maybe not as long. It might not be super large, like we're actually going to change the PX or the ratio of the size. And in the body, we're also going to have equal parts of density for each of those 4 iterations. Now, why would you do that, Chris? Why should we go out there and create one piece of content that's going to target all 4 variations and then let it sit? Because within probably 2 weeks, it's going to be very evident and very clear which one Google inside of Search Console likes and is going to reward you with the fastest. Which one of those iterations, because again, I think you're with me so far as the title, the URL, the H1, and the body content. If we had 4 different variations, all right, and this is, now some words might have different ones, but let's say it's lawyer, lawyers, attorney, and attorneys. All right? Lawyer, lawyers, attorney, and attorneys. Within pretty fast, we're going to see inside of Google Search Console, what is Google rewarding with us already? What's it giving us impressions for? Perhaps we've even generated a click. It's starting to see traffic. And one of these should and will stand out amongst the others. Maybe it'll be 2, but they'll be neck and neck. Maybe we'll give it a little bit more time to see. What does Google end up thinking the page is about the fastest? Because I've created 2 separate pages before. I've optimized this one the same way and this one the same way. And it's rewarded me here for attorney and this one over here for lawyers. And I'm like, should I make them all lawyers? Should I make them all attorney? Well, we'll optimize the pages around the keywords, making the slug the primary keyword that has the highest search volume. Inside of the title, the H1, and the body, we're optimizing with all of the keywords in mind, equal density. Which one is Google taking off the fastest? And that's what we up the density on in the prominence of keywords inside the H1, inside the body, and then of course, we'll do double variations inside of the header. What I mean by double variations is, in this instance, this example, I'm talking about lawyer, lawyers, attorney, and attorneys. If I see that lawyer is taking off, I'll do the variation inside of the title. I'll do lawyer, lawyers. In the H1, I'll do lawyer, lawyers. In the body text, I'll have the highest density for lawyer, lawyers. You with me so far? Does this make sense? Instead of creating multiple pages and seeing, hey, which one is Google going to reward me with? Or going out there and just going with the highest volume. Oh man, but if, right? Let Google decide what your page is about and what it's going to help you achieve the fastest. Google's going to show you. All right. So that is that. Now let's talk about this duplicate content issue. All right. Are you with me so far? Any questions about that? No? Awesome. If you do, just throw them on in. So this is how we're going to decide on as far as different keywords or different variants and what to tune the page around. We're always going to let Google decide. Now let's talk about this duplicate content issue. All right. Now, what we do, you can do whatever you want. All right. You're the webmaster. But here's what we like to do. All right. Especially if we're on budget constraint. Everybody's on budget constraint. All right. But we want to win and we want to win fast. So for instance, let's say that we have a business owner that has 20 different services and they want to target inside of the states 20 to 30 of the cities that have the most search volume. Now, what we will do is if we're focusing on state by state silos, let's say we're going to California. Okay. And inside of California, there's 30 cities that have high, search volume and high comp. All right. What we generally will do is we will target the hardest one. What is the hardest place, the most expensive CPC? What is the hardest? And we will create what is called a winning template. All right. Once we have our winning template, we're within our word counts, we're within our heading counts, we have the images, we have our video, we have our optimization down pat, because oftentimes people already have everything in place. They just need things tuned, right? So they generally already have everything. If we're starting fresh, then yes, we'll go in one by one, but that's not often the case. Often the case is they already have the pages, they already have the cities. We will create a winning template that's on point. Word counts, headers, titles, everything is perfect. And then we will take that winning template and we will launch out to each of the 20 cities. All right? We'll launch out to each of the 20 cities to figure out, well, hey, where's Google ranking us at? Where are we at after? Because what's great about on-page is it happens quickly. So I create a winning template. I modify it 20 times to hit each of the geolocations. I launch all those pages and I see, hey, which pages is Google indexing? Which pages didn't they index? Which pages just flew right up to the top and which ones are lagging behind? And what you will find out within 2 weeks, in most cases less, as long as Google's on the ball, as long as there's no updates, it happens generally quickly, is if I launch those 20, 12 of them probably went right up. They're doing very well. Why? Because all your competition already did this. So we have the higher word counts. We have the higher densities. We have the better optimization within the headers. The pages that go, why would I want to create all fresh new content when I launched all of the same pages, changed the geo modifier, and all the pages went right to page 1? Why? Why do any more work? Now on the remaining 8 pages, that's where you focus your attention. Well, what was wrong? Maybe now we need to go in there and spend time and budget and resources going into these 8 pages and start figuring out, okay, was our word count off? I don't know. It's up to you. Was it the word count? Was it the header count? Was it the optimization count? Do we need a form? Do we need a video? What is different about this particular SERP as opposed to the Los Angeles SERP? Like, what is the difference? And that's where we'll start making our optimization. Because if I have, again, 20 services plus another 30 locations that I have to hit, make your winning template that's based on the hardest place, launch across every single city, see what hits, keep that, and then whatever's lagging behind, start working from there. It'll help you scale so much faster, because if you have to start at the very beginning, now if budget and time isn't of any, doesn't matter to you, then sure, 100%. Unique, 100% the whole way. But I guarantee that there's going to be, maybe, hey, there are some companies that are limited by time and budget. So if you're not one of them, by all means, create 100% unique and watch every single page and see, hey, which changes do I need to make? By all means. Or go to the hardest place, figure out what the template is, launch in all of them, see which ones lag behind, and then start optimizing the pages that are slacking. You'll do very, very well, very, very quickly. So this is what I really wanted to touch on as far as choosing the keywords and keyword variations. As far as the keywords are concerned, number 1, let Google decide, okay? Put up your pillar page, put up your power page or cornerstone page, whatever you want to call it. I've heard all kinds of names in the last few months. Put up your pages, and whatever Google is rewarding you for the fastest, that's what I would then tune the page around. Now, you will have to go back in and re-optimize and retune every 90 to 180 days, depending on what your budget is. You may want to go back in and take a look. Hey, is this page still hyper-performing for that variation of keyword? Or is there other keywords that I need to add? Or is Google starting to send me a bunch of traffic for a specific keyword? And does it make sense to add it and re-optimize this page, like add those words in? Or should I launch a whole new page? This is up to you to decide every 3 to 6 months. As far as the duplicate content issue, because the tools are going to trigger all types of stuff. Oh, you have duplicate content. This is a problem. Oh my goodness. But if I have a page for Los Angeles, and I have a page for, I don't even know. I know LA, California, largest cities. I don't live in California. Oh, San Francisco, of course. San Diego, San Francisco, and then 3, San Fran. And I optimize, I have the same pages, but I've changed out all of the geo modifiers and the density within the body content. One's for LA and one's for San Fran. These 2 pages aren't competing with each other. They're 2 entirely different SERPs. It might be duplicate content, not plagiarism, because I'm using my own content. You already have duplicate content on your site. 100%. I guarantee there's some level of duplicate content already. If I change out modifiers, I'm never competing with myself. And if there is a problem, I can either de-optimize or I can change the variation of the page. It's not that big of a deal. All right, so that sums it up for those 2 tips that I wanted to go ahead and give today. I was asked about those 2 things twice, maybe 3 times, like in the last couple days. So I really wanted to touch on that. If they're having these troubles, I assume you are. But let's go ahead and read these questions here, and then we'll move on with our lives for today. How can we cover how to make these rank on Google? How can we cover how to make these rank on Google? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me there. How can we cover how to make them rank on Google? I'm not sure what you're asking me there. In what sense? What optimization, the off page, the internal linking, creating the content properly, having a social media campaign, maybe running ads. Which aspect are you talking about? Like beginning until end? That's a whole nother conversation, Dijon, my friend. I apologize. I have client calls stacked up, but I wanted to go ahead and put out a piece of wanted to put out some information. All right. Proddy Band, hi, hello to you. Griffin Thomas, sounds like a perfect topic for me. Man, to be honest, Griffin, you were the final straw, brother. I was reading through the YouTube comments. I was answering the comments that I saw, the ones that came up. Because if you don't answer them in like 12 hours, they disappear. So I was just reading through the most recent. And you were the last one. I was like, man, I'm making a video. So yeah, Griffin, is it possible to show an example using a pest control company? It is possible. For each reason, when I make my service page for each location, instead of the URL showing the service area city name, it'll just service area / ant control as an example, even though Dallas tagged parent. Wonder if I need to ditch the service area tab. Well, okay. See, this is a problem. All right, my friend Griffin, this is directly for you. I'll put it in context of a pest control. So if you have, let's say you own, it would be awesome, I'm sure, but here, can I, here, don't save this one. Give me a second. Let me make this a little bit smaller. All right, can I make this smaller? There we go. Let's say we own pest.com. Okay, I would not have this services. And then on the service page, I see this all the time. You'll have the block, and this will be ants, termites, mice, all the little different critters, right? What in my humble opinion, I think what would be very best for you, because I just went through this. See, all of the pest control competitors, all of your competitors, they all have a list. They're targeting pest control or pest control plus city. Sometimes they'll do pest control company plus city. That's usually what I see, or exterminator plus city. Usually it's pest control plus city. And then they'll have a list of their services, but those aren't geo-specific. In your instance, what I have seen, just from my own experience, is that when you have, this is your navigation bar, right? Which is also basically the structure. It's just easier to explain. What they'll have is they'll have their services, okay? And they'll house all their services, right? This is a drop down. Mice, I don't know, termite, bees, right? Cockroaches, okay? Over and over. And then what they'll do is they'll have this is their locations. They'll even write location there. And then they'll have their list, right? Like I don't know, Orlando, Fort Myers, Naples, Punta Gorda, right? Whatever. These are places in Florida. And this is just targeting their pest control. And then these pages are, it's like their top level pages where they're trying to rank for the word mice, or they're trying to rank for the word bee, right? You see this all the time. All the pest control companies do this, all the little guys, right? In some area, they'll have their list. Why? Because they saw some other company that's been ranking there for 20 years above them. That's how they structured it. So that's how the next guy did it, or the next company did it, and the next company, and the next company. But other than like these huge brands, what I would highly recommend you doing, and where we found success, the last company that I had to work with in Fort Myers, he sold the old business. I can't say the new business, but the old one was called like Stat. And when we relaunched together, what we did is we actually made, I don't know what you want to call it, a power page, a pillar page, a cornerstone page, it doesn't matter. But we ended up making a page that was geared around pest control, let's just say Fort Myers, okay? We ended up making a pest control Fort Myers page. And on that pest control Fort Myers page, what we started doing is, and I'll show you the structure. We actually talked about mice, cockroaches, bees. We talked about everything. And instead of running the services separately, we ran the individual bugs as supporting pages that were geo-modified. And how this looks like in structure is like this, all right? Let's say you own pest.com, all right? This is what ended up working for us, all right? And Florida's got all kinds of bugs, right? If it works there, I know it'll work for you, all right? So pestcontrol.com / pest control Orlando, we'll say. / ants, or whatever the best primary term is. I'm just using this as an example. I'm not saying these are the best terms. I'm just showing you the structure and how we did it, okay? Pest Control Orlando, I know Pest Control is going to be your best, but this is our top level page, starting with Pest Control plus location. This is if you're only in one state, targeting the cities in that state. You can also, we didn't do it this way, but you also have the availability if you're going to do multiple locations. You could do Pest Control Florida and then start laying in your cities, but that's not what we did. We were only operating in Florida. So it's Pest Control Orlando / ants Orlando. Oh, all right. So Pest Control Orlando, and then what do we do in Orlando? We did ants, termites, bees, right? And it was all at that second level. That's how we started doing it. And then on this page right here, on this Pest Control Orlando page, this page was pretty large. It was actually outside of the SERP norm. The SERP norm was calling for, I think, 2,800 words tops. Like that was the SERP average. We exceeded that. It was like 3,200 or 3,400 words. And we actually encompassed each of those individual services within that page. It didn't overweight the optimization of the page, but we talked about it and internally linked to our individual service location pages. Pest control is the primary. These are secondary services. I hope that makes sense to you. Don't lead. This shouldn't be services / pest control, whatever. No. Because then the top level services, nobody cares about your brand plus services. What they care about is I got bees in my house and I'm in Naples. That's what they care about. Okay? I hope that makes sense. All right. Are you with me so far, dude? Exactly, that's how it's set up. Yeah, see, I'm sorry. But, hopefully you can fix it. Yeah, you have to get rid of that stuff, all right? You have to structure it how people are searching and make it make sense. So that way the site works together. You see what I'm saying? Like running that services and then running it down. No, use your secondary services as backups because it makes sense. Like if I have your website And then the big word that I want to go for is pest control. Well, what kind of pest control do you do? / what do you do? I do ants. I do boom, 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 termites, bang, bang. But make these bugs location service pages. Almost like you're the specialist ant guy in whatever city. Just like you're the specialist pest control guy in whatever city, or girl or company, however, right? I say guy, you know what I mean, right? For those that are watching, it's no, I don't mean anything by it, I'm sorry. Pest control, and then ants. Pest control, termites. Okay, I think we hammered that home. And then just make sure, now you have your pet, let me just drive one more thing home so you can maximize value. So we have our website / pest control, and then we do our ants, right? Don't just drive money here, though. When we start building in externals, don't just drive coin here. This is the least important page on the website, all right? This page here is just a directive. I almost now treat the website, the homepage, like an about us. Like, okay, here's our email form. Here's some of our services. Here's our tips page or our blog page. Here's our privacy, our terms. Here's meet the team. Hey, maybe read some of our testimonials. This is like an about us page or an entity gathering page. Primary services, secondary services, and maybe some info. All right. Forgot where I was leading to. Oh, links. All I wanted to point out was don't keep driving dollars here. Make sure you're driving dollars here, and make sure you're driving dollars here, okay? When you build here, it goes to this level, all right? There has to be I want to use the word marriage, but there has to be a harmony between link flow to the bottom and link flow at the top. Because what I find is if I keep building links here at the third level, this page just keeps getting stronger and stronger if we're looking at a third-party metric like Ahrefs or Majestic. All right. Anyway, who's next? How else can I help you guys and gals? Just when the... Hi. Does exact match Kira domain work in this process? See, I personally am not a fan of exact matches. I'm just the only, because it's very, very difficult. There's only a couple brands that I've ever ran across that were successfully able to have Google understand that the exact match was actually the brand and that this name is synonymous. A few instances of this are we buy houses.com. Okay? They were able to do it. Very hard to do. Very difficult. All right? And then on top of that, the problem with these is now, too, when you have your exact match, if you bought the exact match to begin with, I'm not saying that it's unskillful. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you would use it. But generally, the person who's buying that is looking for the shortcut. So they'll have their exact match domain, EMD, right, .com. And then they start building in EMD anchors or variation EMD anchors. Then the site's toast. Also, too, when you want to start pulling in those variations, it's very difficult. I would usually advise against an exact match unless you just want to own a term. Like, it's so much harder to cross that brand barrier, in my opinion. So I don't like them, Dijon. So I don't necessarily try to figure out strategies for it because I try to run for the hills because it just causes too much issues for me, you know, like in the past. Not saying that it's not achievable or there's not a way to do it. There is, I'm sure. Just not me. I've had at least 2 painful experiences in my past that I would much rather just go for a brand. All right. Hey, Chris, you are the 3rd in queue. Well, let's see who it is. I'd be happy to. And by no stretch of the imagination, Abdul or whomever else, if I miss the question, It's not because it's purposeful. Please note, just like an email or like anything, I want to help everybody. I just can't though, okay? But I don't mean anything. So let's read this one though. Hey, Chris, please, how do we get access to the tool you used in your recent How to Find Expired Domains video? I showed that tool. It's Scrapebox. It's a Scrapebox tool. I actually just answered your that question is very similar to one I just read and I just answered, but that tool is Scrapebox. Scrapebox is a $100 tool. And by all means, you can get it. I also believe that specific tool that I used, I don't recall exactly what I used in the video. But I only use a few things. I have a custom tool, which isn't for sale, that we use now. And before that, though, the functionalities that we were using were Scrapebox. And Scrapebox has an additional plugin that you can purchase for, I think it was $50, in order to help sort through some of the domains. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. And then if you have anything else, Chris, what is the Ultimate GMB ranking membership class? I don't have an Ultimate GMB ranking membership class. I'm sorry, Eddie. I don't have any such thing. I don't have anything like that, my friend. All right. No problem, Abdul. My pleasure. All right, so no other questions. That's not a problem. To expand on my question above, I want to reach out to around 25 towns in my country, UK. Okay. Yeah, but is it towns or is it cities? You know, I'm working on a UK project right now. Relatively large, you know, very similar to the stuff that we like to do. Like we buy houses, you know, anything in that nature, but we're looking to hit like London, Birmingham, Glasgow, Liverpool, Bristol, Manchester, Sheffield, Leeds, Edinburgh, right? So this is probably your top 20 that you're interested in, I assume, right? I don't know if those are towns or what they're considered. Cities, I assume. I'm coming back to the stream. Town CQ above. So, but in any case, what is the... If you have... Okay, so I see. There's context there. So to put more in the context, if you have any questions, briefly throw them in. If not, we'll chop this video up. I had the worst experience. If anybody that sees this is fair, you know, at doing those little short videos and actually understands SEO and what a piece of information would be, let me know. You let me know. Anybody that likes SEO or more notably likes my SEO, reach out to me. I would love somebody to work with to make shorts that are specifically targeting questions and answers to help people. That's it. Not just chop up videos and make them look cool. I don't care how they look. I care about, is it a piece of information? That's what I care about. All right. So if I have an optimized page, I would say 700 words. Are you saying the only thing I need to change in the H1, H2, in the body location? So if you have a page that is 700 words, well, you're missing the big one. No, I'm saying if you had a page, 700 words is probably a little light. But let's just say, to answer this question specifically, if you had a page, I mean, you could change that and not get penalized. There is no penalization, Bird Control Services, for duplicate content. Okay? There's a penalty for plagiarized content, but we're talking about creating content based on pages that we already have. This is not against the guidelines in any stretch of the imagination. Your tools might yell at you, but Google will not do anything other than reward you Sometimes they'll cause you some trouble, but then you can re-optimize. But let's go back to that question. We have a page. You missed a few pieces there, okay? So we want to change the title, the H1, H2 through H6, and body. Okay? And that's what's going to be the most important. Okay? I gotta shut this door. Bang on the dang door. There we are. Sorry about that. Okay. Now I think we touched on everything. And we're all good? Perfect. Agree with you. Just an example. Okay, perfect. How to CTR? Okay. I have a few more minutes here. Was about duplication. There's something I'm not getting when it comes to SEO and how exactly to make GMB grow. All right, towns. To expand on my question above, okay. Town CQ, okay, yes. I asked above. Getting SEO on exactly how to make the GMB grow. Well, it's the GMB is definitely its own product. All right, Dijon. I mean, it's two separate things. You have your organic, and then you have your maps. All right, so it's two separate things. As far as making it grow, I'm not sure what you mean by that, other than if you have a business in a specific location, and my business is here, like you're trying to get it outside of its, you know, probably 3 to 8 mile radius. I assume that's what you mean, like getting the proximity to grow specifically, or how far you rank. How does CTR manipulation, website direct visit affect ranking? Is it safe for money site? Website direct visit? Website direct visit is useless. Very specific question, Eddie. So if you're running a robot to a page, this isn't going to have it rank increase. Now, if I'm running a robot, let's say that we have a PR document, and that PR document is ranking in Google for a specific term, and I'm able to have the robot go to the page, find that link, click on it, and then go to my page, and then of course to one more little page, and then end the section, then you might see an increase over time for a short period of time. But other than that, I think that's about it. All right. Got it. Thank you. All right. Organic growth. Yes, to see more individual to contact. Organic growth. All right. So I'm going to have to wrap this up. Yes, to get more individual to contact me back. Links for me have been helpful, or maybe I'm not linking them right. Organic growth, yes, to get my individual to contact me. I'm not sure of these questions, my friend. Organic growth, yes, to more individual to contact me. Backlinks for me have not been helpful. Maybe I'm not linking them right. I'm not sure of the specific question, my friend. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. I'm not sure how I can help you, my friend. All right. I think we went through everything though. Griffin, my pleasure to help. Dijon, I'm not sure how I can help you, but all right. That's about it. We're at like 40. All right then. So I think that's gonna wrap it up. I don't see any other questions here. Here's what I will do at the end though, briefly. All right, just so I know I can bang out two little blurbs from this as well, like two small shorts from this. Really briefly, so when choosing a specific keyword to go after, it can be a very good solution. For instance, when choosing a page, let's say it's for lawyers, attorney, or attorneys, it's very good inside of the URL to go for the highest volume keyword. But then inside of our title, we can include all, H1, all, body, all, at same density. Okay? And then, usually in a very short period of time, depending on Google's indexing, what we can do is we can check our Google Search Console and see what is Google rewarding us with the most, and then we can go back into our pages and retune the body, headings, title in order to be optimized around what Google is rewarding us the most. This way we can limit the amount of work that we have to do, and we can get the best results the fastest. Next is the duplicate content issue. So, for those of you that have multiple locations and multiple services, choose the hardest location and create your winner page. Next, you can then create your other 20 location pages and see what Google does with these 20 pages. See where they're actually ranking. See where they land. Are they bottom of page 1, or top of page 2? Are they already there? Then you can go back in and retune. But if a page hits top 5 just by geo-modifying stuff, why would I want to go back in there and rework it? No. Create your pages, launch them, see where they land, and then re-optimize from there. All right. That's pretty much it. I don't know how those will come out. I've never taken it from a live to a short, but we'll see. In any case, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you in the next video. I had a lot of fun. I have lots of work to do, but thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.